What's up, nerds? So I just finished the X-Men 97 season 1 finale, and it was pretty good. I have to be honest, it wasn't my favorite, wrapping up of the season, but I didn't hate it. I mean, I only have, tiny little things that I didn't like. But overall, I'm not 100% sold on how the direction they're going for season 2. I will get to it when I do my review at the end and during the breakdown. But overall, I did really like it a lot. I don't think that Bastion is dead because did you see a body? I didn't see a body, and if you don't see the body, they're not dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, Gambit's totally dead. Or is he? Because we saw a body. Once you see a body, they're dead. They're dead. But I really did enjoy it. So I real quick just want to give a shout out to Morph, because I'm going to try to do this next season more often. But he did transform into Mr. Fantastic this episode, which I thought was very cool. Liked seeing that. And I'll talk about all the little cameos that we got throughout this episode during the breakdown, okay? So let's get to that right now. All right, here we go, guys. With Wolverine critically injured, Xavier takes control of Magneto and restores power to Earth, fracturing Magneto's mind. So this part right here, I didn't... Listen, I am going to be honest with you. When it comes to the mind stuff, when they're on the astral plane, I don't mind it. It's just, I don't think that this show does the astral plane the way I would like to see the astral plane. You know what I'm saying? But I did like this stuff going on inside their mind. And then when they came out into the real world and the Magneto was doing his thing and Professor X was crawling towards him, like a little gimp. And then he grabs him and they meld and then they're twisting in there and you got the wind going and everything. I was like, daddy likey. So I liked that part. I thought it was very, very cool. It was aesthetically pleasing, if you ask me. And also, while we're watching this, we did get some cameos as the lights got turned back on, okay? So, of course, we got Silver Samurai again. We got him last episode when they turned off the power. Then we also got Captain America again. If you noticed, he found his shield, so Rogue didn't throw it that far. And we also got Iron Man in there, who both did make an appearance in the original 96 show. And then we got Daredevil a couple of times. I'll mention him again. And then we got Dr. Strange. He was doing some surgery with his little magic powers. And I love how, if you notice, there was candles all around him because the lights were turned off and he was trying to do surgery. I was like, that's good. Daddy likes. It was very cool to see all these cameos. Jean, she connects with the cosmic power of the Phoenix and places the collar on Bastion, severing his technopathy and restoring the Prime Sentinel's humanity. Okay, so Phoenix, she pops up and I was like, yay, Phoenix, I love Phoenix. I love Jean Grey. I love Shu, and she's got the Phoenix Force. It's just so good. I love the Phoenix Saga, the Dark Phoenix Saga. I love the whole thing with Scott and the Phoenix and Emma Frost, all that good stuff. I just love it. So she puts the collar on Bastion, and he can't contact his little Sentinels anymore, and so they they get all crumbly and everything, and it also frees the control of Cable. And I want to go back to mention some cameos in here, because when the power got turned on, we got some attacks, and then when they got shut off, we got to see Black Panther and T'Challa in there and everything. And then we also, in Russia, we got to see Darkstar, Omega Red, and a Red Dynamo. And they're all Russian and everything. Very cool. I don't think Red Dynamo made an appearance in the original series, but Omega Red definitely did, and so did Darkstar. But Darkstar didn't. She only got 2 seconds in there. Then we also saw, with Daredevil, we saw Cloak and Dagger. And I love Cloak and Dagger, and I really wish they would bring them to the MCU, because they're a really fun, couple or whatnot. But anyways. And then we also got to see on Genosha, we got to see Psylocke again, except this time the real Psylocke. That was fun. And then we also got to see the Canadian group, Alpha Flight. We got to see the twins, North Star and Aurora, and then Puck. I don't remember who that black girl is, and everything, but, who cares? Because, whatever. She then reverses the mutant augmentations that Sinister has made to himself, freeing Cable of his control. And then Phoenix, she reverses Mr. Sinister. I'm glad she didn't kill him. but she takes out all the DNA and everything, and she turns him all Zorgified and everything, and he looks gross, but he's all like, oh, what do I look like and everything, and Morph's all like, you look the same to me, but he can totally come back, because if you, in the comic books, he just genetically uses mutants, and that's not like, he's a clone, like he just keeps creating clones of himself, and then putting, more DNA into it to make him special. So he'll be back because that's what Sinister does, Bastion. So he decides to crash asteroid M into Earth and cause a new extinction event. So Bastion pulls an Ultron from Age of Ultron. He's like, I'm going to have an asteroid hit the Earth and kill all the humans and everything. And you're all like, oh, wow, way to be original, Bastion. I don't remember if he did that in the comic books. If he did, I don't remember it, and I don't care either way. But I was like, it's fine. And so we got a big fight sequence with the X-Men up in space. Which, how is everybody breathing, by the way, in space? Like, we got Rogue breathing in space, and Jubilee was breathing in space, and I'm all like, you guys, listen, I get it, it's a cartoon, but we have to have a little bit of reality in here, just a tad, but it was fine. I was loving it, so I didn't mind it too much. But we did get so when Rogue is fighting him, she hits him down to the moon, and you see this like little city. Now, this city we did see in the comic books and in the original show, but it's the Inhumans, their city before they left. On an asteroid, and then they live on like this floating like city, so that was really fun to see. The U.S. government launches missiles at asteroid M, hoping to destroy it, but instead cause it to plummet to Earth. All right, so the government, they have the Magneto protocol, and that's where they just shoot a bunch of rockets at something, typical humans, and try to destroy it. But they don't destroy it. I was like, oh, I could have told you that, stupid. But instead of it going boom, it plummets to the planet, and it's going to cause this event anyways. And so, as it's plummeting, we did see another cameo, some more cameos in here, and we got Peter Parker and Mary Jane and Flash Thompson, aka Venom, in the background. And there was a 90s show of that Spider-Man. I love that Spider-Man animated show. It's so good. I hope they do a reboot of that show like they did with X-Men 97. I really do, because I would love to see what happens after that. It'd be so good, so good. But it's the asteroid's plummeting towards Earth. With Xavier's help, Magneto regains consciousness and sends the asteroid back into space. So Xavier, he pulls Magneto out of his little stupor, and Magneto, because the X-Men are trying to stop it or whatnot, and together, and he stops it. He stops it and pulls it up into space, and So two things. One, when I want to talk about when Cable is talking to his parents, they're for him. I was touched emotionally wise. I loved it when Cyclops said, when your mother said, "I have your eyes, you have my eyes," and Jean goes, "And they're good eyes," and he shows him, and he's like, and I think he says like, I love you, son," and I was just like, oh God. I was like, as a father, because he said the one thing I wanted to give you, something that my father never gave me, and that was saying goodbye. And I was like, oh my God, that is so good, towards the end, I hope I get the chance to say goodbye to my kids. If not, I have my I love you 3000 Tony Stark speech. I have it all on a flash drive for him anyway, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, but I really thought that was touching. It explodes, leaving most of the X-Men presumed dead. And then when we saw it, it doesn't explode. It zaps or whatever. It's transport somewhere, and everybody thinks the X-Men are dead. 6 months later, Bishop tells Forge that the X-Men are trapped in time. Cyclops and Jean are in 3960 AD, a desolate future where they encounter Mother Ascanti and a young Nathan. Okay, so first thing I want to mention in here was when Bishop and Forge are talking, we see this like these little like poster board in the background and has these little yellow tapes on it and says, presumed dead or whatnot. And it's very reminiscent of Days of Future Past, that iconic cover where you see all the mutants and it says like apprehended or slain or whatnot. And I thought that was great. Now moving over to the Jean Grey and Cyclops. So they're in 3960. And that woman we saw was Mother Ascanti, which is actually Rachel Summers. Now, we did get to see Nathan Summers, but I don't want to talk about him because who cares? But we did get to see Rachel Summers, and that's Mother Ascanti, and that is the daughter of Cyclops and Jean, and it's like a darker future, whatever. And she's got these, you didn't really get to see the face tattoos well because she had that hood on, but she's got these face tattoos, and that's from her being a hound. And she basically, she was tortured. I don't want to get too into it, but she was tortured by Ahab. I think it was Ahab yeah. And she was tortured with like, psychic stuff or whatnot. And then she has a collar or whatever. And she's given like this crazy dominatrix outfit, but she's a hound and she basically hunts down other mutants, and that tattoo is from that. But we'll see if we'll see her and everything. And she's also attuned to the Phoenix Force. She's pretty cool. She's not my favorite character or whatever of all time, but she is very cool. A little bit. I don't know. But we'll see if how far they go into that in the next season. I hope they slow it down. Don't rush it too much. And Rogue, Nightcrawler, Beast, Xavier, and Magneto are in ancient Egypt in 3000 BC, where they meet in Sabanur, a young version of Apocalypse. And then, of course, we get the X-Men. They're thrown into 3000 BC, where we got to see in Sabanur, a.k.a. Apocalypse. And his look was pretty much from the comic books. I want to say that origin story comes from the Age of Apocalypse. Do not quote me on that. I can't remember. I did read it, however. I didn't think his origin story was, like, all that great. It was fine, but it wasn't that great. The only thing is, in the cartoon, he doesn't have the gray skin, because later on, there's like he doesn't like when people, like his ancestors or whatever, when they have that like grayish tint to their skin color. He doesn't like it because it reminds him of his origins or whatnot, because he was basically, an outcast and treated wrongly because of his skin tone. Because he had that gray skin tone. And then, he rises up and, he's like the first mutant, In present day, Apocalypse visits Genosha. And speaking of Apocalypse, we got an end credit scene, and Apocalypse goes to Genosha, the wreckage of Genosha or whatnot. And he's in the rubble and everything, and you see him pick up a Gambit's card. And he says, it smells of death. And in the comic books, Gambit does become the one of the four horsemen of Apocalypse, and he becomes Death, the horseman Death. So we got to see a little what I think he's kind of going to look like in the next season as the horseman of Apocalypse. We got to see him when on the astral plane when Xavier sees after he dies. He got the skull, whatever. So I think that Gambit is definitely going to be one of the four horsemen. I hope Apocalypse isn't the villain for the next season, because I would like to see them maybe branch out just a little bit more before they bring back Apocalypse. Like maybe season 2, they could have Apocalypse gathering up his four horsemen, and then season 3 having to battle that whole situation. We'll see where it goes. I trust where they're going with this, because I did like this show so much, and this season, it was very good. I just have small things. Like I said before, this season was very rushed. They rushed a lot of really good storylines from the comic books that I wish they wouldn't have rushed. I wish they would have taken their time with it. I get it, but at the same time, I can't help being like, hey guys, you have time, right? And if you do a good job like you did this season, we will hang around for it. Although it's not doing well ratings wise, so I kind of feel bad about that, because I do enjoy this show. But we'll see where it goes from here. It did get some kind of award, a nomination or whatnot. But we'll see where it goes from here in the next season. But overall, I really did like this season, you guys. It was very good. It was exciting. It was emotional. That episode 5, it was thrilling. There were touching moments. There were angry moments. It was just all around. I thought it was very good. I cannot wait for the next season. It was just really good. It was really good, you guys. I did enjoy it immensely. And we'll see where they go from here. I really hope they do Age of Apocalypse, you guys, because they haven't done that yet. The only thing they kind of did with it was in Wolverine and the X-Men season, the season finale for that. They touched on it for season 2, but they never went anywhere with it. So I was like, bummer. But we'll see where they go from here. All right, but tell me what you guys thought about this episode and this finale and the season, all of it. Tell me what you guys thought. Who's your favorite X-Men? What's your favorite part of this show? What was your favorite cameo or morphing or whatever? But tell me all that good stuff. Go ahead and leave all your comments in that section down below. If you like this video, go and hit that like button. I won't mind. If you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I will see you guys on my next video. You guys have a good day. Bye.